Welcome. Here is my hopefully brief guide to loot filters in Path of Exile 2. I have been maintaining and updating a bow/solo self-found version of Neversink's filter, and as of 0.3 this filter is really quite good and will hide most useless stuff that you'll find. So first off, if you're not familiar with any sort of code at all, there's usually some sort of character you can put before a line that makes it not read technically, it's just a comment. So this is used both to add some information like this license, but you can also use it to disable an entire rule. So if I was to add this icon to everything, this whole rule, it would be disabled and not read. And to enable it again, you simply remove it. I'm mentioning this because some things might look confusing if you have no idea about how that works. So in broad strokes, a filter in Path of Exile 2 first hits as many things as possible that you want to see with show rules. These also add formatting like color, backgrounds, sounds, effects, and maybe a minimap icon. All of these are optional and can simply be deleted if you don't like them. They are read from the top to the bottom, and if something is hit by this show rule, if you then later basically tell it hide all rings, then it will not hide what has already been hit. So overall, try to specifically hit everything you definitely want to see, and then try to hide most or all of the rest. So pretty easy, but the formatting and the rules can be a bit confusing, so I'll try to go through the various parameters you can set. I'll also mention all the changes I have made to adapt the filter to more strict endgame solo self-found. So some of the formatting includes setting a text color. If you've played without a filter, you'll see that every currency, including a divine, exalted, or mirror of Calandra, will just be brown, almost camouflaged, and you'll run past them and miss them. So the goal is to hit all the things you want to see, set a nice text color. I don't know exactly which these are, but add a minimap icon, maybe have an effect and a sound, and how loud should the sound be, and so on. So here are some iconic items. Divine Orb style ding. The base type Mirror Divine Perfect Jeweler's Orb will make, I'm pretty sure these are red and white. You'll have the red border with white background and so on. Alert sound 6 is the divine sound, so if you want something really important added to your filter, just add player alert sound 6. Effect red, minimap icon red star. You probably recognize all these. Maybe you're such a hotshot farmer you don't really care about seeing divines and mirrors and that kind of stuff. If you don't want these to make annoying sounds, annoying icons, annoying effects, just delete this section. Then they will simply drop with the normal graphics, and adapt it to your needs. Here are things I have added, because flasks are hidden in the default Neversink filter. So whether you're in trade or solo self-found, you're going to need flasks. The best mods can be in item level 82 or greater, and these are worth a few divine if you get a good roll, even in trade. So you should definitely pick these up and just try to transmute them and see what happens. And again, this is only for item level 82 or up, so only the top flasks. You're not going to be spammed by flasks except in a level 82 maps, in which case it's most likely worth looting. I've made changes here to gold, so that in area level over 70, basically maps, you're not going to see gold at all unless it is stack size 2k or above. that might be worth seeing and, running over. But anything less, I don't even want to see it. I've still left this alone for leveling purposes. I added so the stack size has to be over 500. So not every minor little thing will be spamming you. You have some section for gems. The level 20 gems will make the divine red star, divine effect, and so on, while the lower ones will not. And most likely this is something to edit a bit more, because do you really want every gem, support gem, and other garbage to go minimap, play sounds, and so on after the campaign? It kind of feels like this can be just deleted. You want to delete it, remove this section, and they will simply drop, not make noise, not be on your minimap, not cause any trouble, so on. For each gem you don't really care that much about. Chancing bases. This is another section I added previously that's now default in the filter, just like the 20 gems that were previously hidden. And I've added a couple here. I've added some formatting because they simply dropped as white and I want to really see the chancing bases, so I made them bright red. So if you want to add anything here, simply add the base name after and it will also appear as red. So here is Dream Fragments, Astramentis, Headhunter, Queen of the Forest, and for some reason this never drops as a base. I don't know why. Emerald Ring is for Thieves' Torment, which can be nice to sort mana issues, and can't really buy one in SSF, so nice to have. And moving on. Yeah. Here's another example of things you might want to change. Waystones. I have changed it, so in area level 77 or greater, basically endgame maps, I don't want to see waystones below tier 14. So if the waystone that drops is less than 14, I don't want to see it. And this is a hide rule. And since nothing will have hit waystones before this, it will be hidden. If you put this rule at the bottom, you try to create this rule by yourself and it doesn't work, it might be you put it at the bottom and it has to be higher up. So the lazy way to add rules is to first try to add your rule to the very bottom. Does it work? Good, then leave it. Doesn't work or doesn't behave like it should always, maybe move it to the top. The ideal is, of course, to figure exactly where in the filter it's ideal to put it, but trying the bottom, then moving to the top is usually fine, unless you interfere with something very valuable. So yeah, this is very convenient. Don't see junk spam maps when you're endgame blasting. So we have a whole lot of stuff here that has been shown and defined how it should look like. And here is a section where many specific items are added. So these are the only bases that we want to see in endgame. So I have left in what I'm interested in. I've left in Bombard Crossbow because I might want a crossbow, Expert Dual String Bow, some other decent stuff that I might want. But then I have removed almost all bases that are not Evasion Energy Shield or Evasion Energy Shield Hybrid. So if you want to adapt this filter to some completely different class, this is the main section to mess with. Like add all your armor bases that you want. Add all the hybrid bases that you want. And I've added some other jewelry that I think is nice. And kept a couple bows as well. So yeah, this section here, one of the most important in the game. And the reason this is not ideal at all to do, because if you maintain a list of stuff to drop, and suddenly they patch the game and add a couple new bases. We added new Mega Blaster bow and Death Destroyer quiver. Then you're gonna have to actually go in here and add it. So it's much better to have generic rules, but sadly, the reason for this is that I think advanced and expert items are temporary, like placeholder names, and they don't have support as classes in the filter. So there's no way to say I want to hide advanced items, because there's not meant to be any advanced items as far as I understand it. That's why you have to instead make like a whitelist of stuff you want, like this expert stuff, expert, and another one with jewelry and so on. But here we hit as many things as possible. Again, things that have been hit by a show will then not be hit by a hide. So we show all these things, and then we just generically say, in area level greater than or equal to 78, hide all gloves, all helmets, all shields, all foci, all everything. And if we did not have this rule, then everything would be hidden. But here we show first what we want to see, and then we hide everything else. So the principle is, as I said before, show as specifically as possible everything you want, hide everything else. So here are very generic rules to hide most things. More or less everything except jewelry is listed here. And here is some optional rules I've added to hide even more stuff. You also need to change this if you want to adapt the filter. If you just download the default version of Neversink instead of mine, this will have everything in it, and you just delete what you want instead of modifying mine, which already is missing a lot of stuff. Mine is really best for bow builds, so I'm hiding shields, foci, maces, etc. And I hope that clears everything up. I've gone through pretty much everything now, and if you try messing with the filter, you'll see that some things have very specific syntax. Like if you want to add something equal or greater than, the signs have to be in this order. Put them the other way around, no, it will say no such parameter or whatever. Rarity also works in tiers. The filter will understand rarity less than magic or greater than normal, etc. You can make great customizations when you combine these, like here, where you say area level less than this, sockets greater than 0. This is also something I've considered removing, because I don't really want to see the sockets in higher levels, but this filter makes sense to only show them in low level areas, show sockets. In high level areas you're gonna have so many orbs anyway that it doesn't matter, and so on. So yeah, I hope that helps, and see you next time.